Yeah.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to combine kind of two of the topics that I was going to talk about, which is designing your cover and also like the ISBNs, the copyright, all the legal information. And I'm actually going to show you all what that should look like because that's really confusing. But without further ado, I want to make sure I'm not super long-winded and I give you all exactly what you need. So number one, when it comes to the book cover, I shot my book cover in February. My book came out, I was done with it in August. I think as soon as you understand the idea that you want to have for your book cover, go ahead and start working on it. I found it to be easier just to use me as the book cover instead of getting something illustrated, because although you see a vision in your head, sometimes it may or may not come out right if someone else was to draw it. So I feel like unless you're working with someone one-on-one, then that's probably the best way if you're trying to do like an illustrated book cover. But book covers are honestly really easy to make. I think Lulu's will kind of draft a book cover for you. So will Amazon Publisher. You can kind of create like a simple plain one on there if you're not doing something extravagant. Like if you're just coming out with a book of poems or something, you could probably just do what Milk and Honey did. But if you're trying to do something a little bit more creative, of course it's going to take more time. I think in total, including my weave and my outfit, the pictures and everything, I probably spent about $400 on the complete thing. So my hair, the outfit, getting my hair done, and taking the pictures for my book. I also used Fiverr.com again to have someone put together my book cover, and I still had tons of issues, especially with Amazon, and even with the book company, like it was off by just a little bit. So the spine of the book, and let me just grab this one, is determined based off of how many pages you have. So mine is, I want to say, about half an inch spine, or a little less than half an inch. And I have 214 pages, but if yours is bigger than this, then that means you might have a, bigger inch spine. So that is something to take into consideration, that do not start on the actual cover yet, as far as, the full size, making sure that they have all the widths and everything in check until you're absolutely finished with the book, because they need to know the total amount of pages that you have to get the accurate spine, which mine was a little bigger at first. I had more pages. I had like 219. Then I went back and took some things out, but I had already designed it, so it was a little off. I don't know if you can tell right here, but just by like a hair. And it also depends too, like different companies who will like Amazon, for instance, when you upload your book to Amazon, their sizing for a lot of the different websites works differently. So, sorry, my phone just said I only had 20%. But, so it's a little weird to kind of justify how your book cover will actually look. So I highly suggest that you get like a copy of your book, like just buy one so you can see what it looks like. So when I created the cover, everything fit into one, but when it actually printed out, it actually cut some of the cover off, and a lot of it was because I didn't understand what bleeds were, so I had to kind of do some readjusting. But there was only so much readjusting I could do until it started cutting me off in the back here, and that was because I was trying to fit me in up here. So it's a lot that goes into it. So if you end up going with the publishing company, I'm pretty sure they'll tell you how that works, and they'll do everything for you. When you're going with publishing company, let's just say bookbaby.com, they do charge you extra, like I want to say it's $300 to be exact, to design a book cover for you. I paid $25 on Fiverr to do my book cover, and I paid $15 for them to do a 3D mock-up. But hey, you guys, I am also a graphic designing person, so I can do your 3D mock-up for you. Just hit me up below and I'll let you know how much I charge. Honestly, I only charge $10. It doesn't take long at all. but the back of my cover, all of it was pretty, like, a lot. When I first went on Fiverr and he sent me like the cover, I was like, oh snap, this looks great. And then I got a dummy copy printed out and sent to me, and I realized that he had airbrushed, so the actual cover or the background that I had was a lot darker than this, so apparently they lightened it. But I noticed that they got some of the airbrushing onto my hair and onto my grad cap on the side, so I had to go back and completely redo the cover myself. It's another issue that you have. They did fix it though. They did go back and fix it, but then I kept having issues with the resolution, so they sent it in 300 DPI, and I ended up having to use like 450. So I went into Photoshop and kept, you know, refixing it myself. And like I said, it really depends on the site, because the resolution also plays a toll, not even just the sizing of the picture, and it can get really confusing. So if you need help with that, I'll be sure to, you know, kind of walk you through that and tell you how that goes. But also just make sure that if you do take pictures with a photographer, that they send you the original photos with full resolution. I was trying to help a friend out with his book cover, and he kind of sent it to me like via email, which it loses its resolution that way, and it was almost like he did a screenshot and then sent it to me. So as soon as I blew it up, it immediately got blurry, and you don't want that. You want the picture quality to be as crisp as possible. So couple key notes for the book cover before I move on to the other topic, which I might end up just posting 2 videos today because I really didn't think I had too much to say on the book cover, but it is kind of important. So I try to keep them to about 10 minutes, not to bore y'all. So I'll just probably make another video for that one. But number 1, make sure that you have an accredited photographer. Okay, I do think that's very important to understand what they're doing, so that way the photos are edited flawlessly, so it's not too much work on yourself. The last thing you want is a bad quality photo that you're going to send out to the world. So that's number 1. High quality photos, not just with the editing of the actual photo for yourself, but you want to make sure that they send you the maximum DPI or resolution that they can, not a screenshot like, oh, I'm gonna take it on my phone on the portrait filter and then send it to you. You don't want that. You want to make sure that it's really good resolution, so that way when you send it to a publishing company, or if you send it to Fiverr or whatever, they're able to manipulate it a lot better. In a lot of ways that you can tell if a photo is good quality is as soon as you upload it to your computer and you double click it, it takes up the whole screen, like it's a huge picture. Whereas then if you have a smaller picture with smaller resolution, or if the size of the picture is small, then it's only like this big on your computer screen, because if you try to blow it up to a 6:9, it's not going to look right. It's going to look crappy. With Fiverr, it's like a hit or miss. Again, but it is a lot cheaper than going with companies like BookBaby, who charge you $300. If you don't have $300, you can honestly do it on Word, but you do need to make sure that you know the amount of pages, and there's plenty of templates out there online. You can ask me, I can try to find some. I'm sure I have a lot of them still left on my computer that will tell you what your spine size needs to be, because you don't want to have a spine size that's too small and your cover doesn't stretch out on the book all the way. And I do highly suggest that you all purchase 1 copy. Some companies don't let you purchase 1 copy. You have to have like a minimum of 25, especially if you're buying it like in bulk, which I think is really stupid. That's one of the reasons why I decided to go with my company, because I could buy just 1 book, and me purchasing 1 book was $20, and I think like $24 with shipping or something like that. But it did allow me to see what my book was actually going to look like. As soon as I blew my, had the actual copy, I was like, oh snap, like I did not notice these imperfections on the picture when the cover design was sent to me. I didn't notice it until I saw it on the book, so I was like, that's a no-no. So you do want to make sure that you analyze your book completely, and you know what the picture resolution is going to look like printed, because some stuff looks better digitally, but as soon as you print it out and put it on like a paper or put it on glossy paper, it looks like crap. So I do highly suggest that for the cover. And hopefully, if you all have any questions as far as the template, if you're trying to do this yourself, if you're just trying to do something really simple, then feel free to comment below, or you can email me and I'll email you the templates that I have. But without further ado, I am going to go ahead and record the next video and then probably post that separately so y'all can see it. But be sure to ask me questions below, and I'll be happy to help and mentor you all if I can. And if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, because I'm doing better, you guys. I'm going to get more content to you all as soon as I can. Okay, life is less stressful for me now, so I have a little bit more room to breathe. So yep, I'll get to y'all in a second, but thanks you all for listening, and thank you all for all the support. I only have 24 books left out of a little over 100, so thank you all. Thank you so much. And check out the links below to purchase my book if you haven't already, before I sell out, because who knows when I'm going to buy another bulk. But alright, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
I can do anything.